Hi there everyone, today I'm going to tie a small shrimp. It's going to be a fairly easy shrimp, but it's going to be a very good looking shrimp. So easy, few materials and outstanding output, so that's a win-win-win, so to speak. We're going to use some wing and flash, some Flashabou dubbing. As you can see, I've added a bit of weight already to the fly, some lead wire. Then we're gonna use some shrimp eyes, easy shrimp eyes, a very cool product. Some Supreme hair in tan, and then finally we're going to use a couple of these grizzly marabou feathers. Well, that's about it. Let's get started. First off, as you can see, I've tied down to where the hook starts to curve. This is a partridge hook. This is the CS4054, a very nice hook. And first of all, we're gonna tie in a small bundle of this wing and flash. A very cool material. This is gonna be kind of like the mouth parts of the shrimp. So, just tying down a small bundle of this right here. I'm gonna cut off what I don't need, and then we're gonna take the two. I'm gonna take two grizzly marabou feathers here. I'm gonna put these on top of one another, and these are also gonna be imitating part of the mouth parts of this small shrimp. So I'm gonna put those on there. Just fasten them, apply some thread, like so, cutting off what I don't need. Like that. I think this is where I want it to be, like so. And this is a bit too long now, so I'm just gonna cut some of it, so it's just gonna stick out there. Okay. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna take some of this Flashabou dubbing, which basically is this wing and flash just cut into smaller pieces. So if you like, you can just buy a package of wing and flash and just tear some of that up, and then you have the dubbing as well for this pattern. So I'm gonna take some of this Flashabou dubbing, and I'm gonna make a small dentation right about where my grizzly marabou is. So it's gonna be a small bundle of dubbing that stands out, like so. And then I'm gonna take these shrimp eyes, these easy shrimp eyes. These are pretty neat, and I want to say a bit about them. As you can see, there are two shrimp eyes on this small strand of monofilament, and also they are on one part of this there is some riffles, so that when you attach this, it's gonna stay there, and you can be 100% secure that your shrimp eyes will stay where you put them. That's one of the great things. The other is you will always be 100% certain that your shrimp eyes will be exactly where you want them to be, and exactly opposite one another, because there are two shrimp eyes on here. So as you can see, very easy to use, easy shrimp eyes, and your shrimp eyes goes at exactly the right spot where you want it to be, like this. Next part, we're gonna take a bit more of this wing and flash here to make the upper part of the shrimp thorn and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just gonna get that into shape, like so. I think that is an appropriate amount. So as you can see now, I have covered the grizzly marabou are inside my tail or front of this this shrimp. And what I'm gonna do is on top of this I'm gonna take some Supreme hair in tan, not many, just 3 or 4, to just imitate the very long antennas of the shrimps. Just gonna pull these out so they are in a bit different lengths. To make everything easier, I'm just gonna cut that off. But don't throw that away, you can add that to your dubbing since it's the same material. I'm gonna tie 3 or 4 of these down, like so. On top here, top of the wing. And if you really want to, you can just take a little more of this wing and flash, just to make sure that you have a nice looking tail on this. This is fairly long, so I'm gonna cut this off when I finish the fly, so it will have the right length. This is a very lively shrimp pattern. It's very nice for murky water as well, because as you it's pretty obvious I'm using a lot of flash material here, but well, it works very good for both sea trouts, but also for the other saltwater fish. I've had good luck with this on both the Danish coastline, but also in Norway and Sweden and stuff like that. Fairly easy, nice pattern. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this Flashabou dubbing here, just dubbing it onto the thread directly. It will be a fairly translucent shrimp pattern when we're done with this as well, because we're gonna rip out a lot of this dubbing to give this pattern some translucency. Is that the word? Translucency? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm making up words as I go along. English is not my native language, as you probably have guessed by now. But I hope you can bear with me. I like your language very much, I must say. I like English, but occasionally I screw up. So just add a lot of dubbing here, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that your body of this shrimp is tapered. So it's gonna be fairly large and thick, back towards the eyes and the tail, the mouth part, and then it's gonna gradually become smaller and thinner as you go along the hook shank, like this. Taking a small amount of dubbing to finish this off, like so. Making my whip finish up here. Cutting that off, and then, well, basically we're almost done, because what we need to do now is we need to take our dubbing brush and then just brush out a lot of dubbing here, so you'll get this translucent effect. You will see a lot of this Flashabou dubbing will just come out and create a nice effect. And a good tip for doing that is to take your scissors and open it, like so, because then you can cut your way into the material as you go along. Because shrimps are translucent, so you want to have that translucent and transparent effect on your shrimp patterns. That is, I find, one of the key elements to really having a good, nice, well-working shrimp patterns is they need to, well, basically look like shrimps in the water as well. I just need to turn this a little now in the vise to make sure that everything is as I want it to be. Sorry for that. As I said, my tail here is a bit long. I'm gonna make this shorter. I'm simply gonna do that by thinning it out, by pulling it. Cutting off the supreme hair antennas as well. And well, there you have it. The Flashabou dubbing shrimp. And this is the Flashabou I've used here, and the wing and flash and the Flashabou dubbing I've used here is in the color sand, a very nice color for shrimp patterns. This fly is going to be extremely lively in the water. It's going to reflect a lot of light. So if you're fishing in, let's say, if you're fishing for, I don't know, permit or snook or something like that, even bonefish in murky water, this fly will be easier for them to locate and to pick up of course. And well, fairly nice, fairly easy pattern that works great.